Alrighty, folks, welcome to another broadcast of the World of Stock Car Racing League Stars and Stripes series presented by 1-3 Speed. Boys, tonight we're at Las Vegas for the first time ever in this league's history, so Josh, I'll send it to you first. What do you expect tonight coming to Sin City?
I expect pack racing. We had a lot of it last week, or not last time we were out at the duels, and for what I've seen in practice, it's looking like we could see a lot of the similar things here.
And I'll send it to you now, Bobby. Are you seeing the same things out there? A lot of wide open?
Yeah, that's something I see a lot in these trucks. They have pretty refrigerator-like aerodynamics and not a ton of horsepower. It's kind of one of the things that makes these things so unique to race. So a lot of the mile and a halves like this tend to turn into pack-ish kind of racing. It's a little different than what you'll see at a Daytona and Talladega. A lot of times you get in some dirty air, so you can't quite pack up the same way, but definitely the draft is going to be the way to do it tonight.
Of course, we also have to mention this is the first round of the playoffs, so keep an eye on that. Your playoff drivers tonight on the timing tower will be highlighted in red. So anyone you see in red is a playoff driver. And, well, boys, we do have some guys missing tonight. And one big contender is Rob Hamp. He will not be here tonight.
Yeah, out of town this week. Definitely going to hurt his chances to contend for a championship with guys like Mark Whitley and Joseph McCord here tonight and expected to be up towards the front.
Yeah, and just not him missing as well. We got Luke Doran missing as well. Jim Foskett. He's actually, he took it to the extreme, right, guys? He actually went to Las Vegas in real life. So that's where Jim Foskett is. He's actually just right down the street, 2 miles from the track. So maybe he'll make his way on out here.
Yeah, just starting part. Get a couple laps in and go back to casinos.
Go. Of course, no surprise, we're looking at our timing sheets right here, and already Mark Whitley, top of the board.
Yeah, and I was looking at him, when he first started to run. I think his fastest lap without drafts like a 30.8, 30.9, something in that range. Maybe getting 30.7, like high 37s, but the fastest laps are going to be in draft. Going to be 3 or 4 tenths faster.
Sir, well, let's show you your playoff standings. As you see, Whitley at the top with 2,036 points. Josh, you got a pretty hefty margin there because the next guy to him is Underwood with 2012.
Yeah, and that's going to help him a lot to get all the way in this to win his first championship. He's already hard to beat, straight up, and now he's going to have a lead coming into the first round. It's going to be really hard to beat him.
Now, Bobby, when you look at these championship standings, obviously Whitley at the top, who else do you keep your eye on in these standings that maybe can get themselves into those prize spots?
Obviously, I think Joseph McCorder is somebody who we know that he has the speed to be there. He's just had absolute awful luck this season. So if he gets himself on a hot streak, I could see him jumping up there pretty easily. Marcus Cunningham's been actually another one that's been very quietly, very quick, and pretty consistent all season as well. So he's definitely he would be a sleeper to at least take a fight to our top contenders for sure.
Sure, and Josh, when you look at it, who do you keep your eye on?
Well, if I'm looking at this grid, I'd say the favorites going into this were the guys we've seen up front the most, that being the 6 and 32. My sleepers, or I don't know if you can really call them sleepers, would be Rob Hamp, who's not here tonight, and I would throw Jordan Hand as a guy to watch, because he's one of those guys that hangs with those top 2 for a good majority of the race. He just can't get by him, but who knows what'll happen in the playoffs.
That's right. We see Joseph McWhorter, provisional pole right now, but here comes Mark Whitley off 3 and 4. Let's see if he can go to the top of the sheets here. And Jacob Houbre. And there's Mark Whitley. The 30.7.
A really big lap there.
McWhorter also improves. He's going to go up to P2. How about Jacob Hubert, though? You know, he's one of those playoff drivers we were just talking about keeping your eyes on, and Rob Squire's P2.
There's not going to be much field spread tonight, especially when I get them in the draft. So definitely going to be very interesting to see who can keep it out front.
Of course, just like real life NASCAR, right? As Marcus Cunningham, and there's Jordan Hand putting in some fast times. Of course, like real NASCARs, right? We still have the non-playoff drivers out here racing with us, so they have every right to go for the win as well.
Yeah, Marcus Cunningham going P3, not a surprise. He was lead the second fastest truck in practice. Not surprised to see him up there.
Yes, sir. So, Bobby, when you look at our playoff schedule, of course, we're at Las Vegas tonight. Which playoff race are you circling as the biggest wild card? Obviously Daytona, but other than that, what do you think could cause the most chaos?
Sorry, let me pull my schedule right back up here, see where we're at. All right. Yeah, we're at Vegas. Martinsville next week is definitely one that, I mean, short tracks, anything can happen. You never know what can happen in terms of, you plow into the back of somebody, something happens in front of you. All it takes is one bad pit stop, shuffles you back to about 10th or 12th, and then on a restart, something dumb happens, and that could throw a wrench in things. And then obviously, I think the big one is Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Mosport. That's going to be a big one that I think is gonna really set the favorites in motion for our championship.
Sir, how about you, Josh?
Well, knowing our league, Martinsville will be chaos. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. I think Phoenix will be really crazy, and I'm going to judge that off of what happened in the '87 league. There was a lot of really hard racing in that because it's really hard to pass. So you really got to make it work on the restarts. Those restarts at Phoenix will be very chaotic, and I think it'll make for a really fun show.
Yes, sir. It's going to be an exciting playoffs. Of course, champion is not the only one to get prizes this year, right? So you want to get into those the prizes spots. Excuse me. So we'll see who can do that. Of course, like I said, some playoff drivers are missing. Of course, Aaron Smith gave up his playoff spot and allowed Jim Foskett to get in.
And it's looking like Brian Underwood. He got DQ'd in qualifying. So he'll be starting 16th tonight.
Keep an eye on that. He's usually pretty good about coming from the back to the front.
Well, I mean, it's a super speedway like track, so we'll see what he can do. He'll definitely be someone to watch.
Here we go. The grid is forming up. We got 150 laps tonight, of course, around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Stage is on lap 50 tonight. Really surprised about the weather. Of course, it's auto-generated, right? It's 65 degrees out there.
Yeah, I'd
So
love
this race is happening in early February in Vegas.
And that's the interesting thing because, as a league official, we set it the actual date that it is today.
I have to take a look. I doubt it was 65 in Vegas today.
No, considering I'm in Phoenix, I can vouch for that it was nowhere close to 65 today.
Looking at it, it is currently 106 in Las Vegas today.
So pretty cold.
I saw 116 on the readout of my car earlier today.
We'll see what these guys can do. Obviously, some of these people like, really hot tracks, so we'll see if that affects anyone tonight. Here's your starting lineup on your screen. Of course, you see we have 3 people that did not set times: Brian Underwood and Melvin and Jordan Kreider. Josh Kreider still serving his suspension. This is the last week of that. We expect him back next week. So here we go. Mark Whitley's going to lead us to green here tonight.
Yep, remember, restart zone rules in effect here.
Sir. So if you haven't heard, we have the iRacing Geico restart zone, right? So that the leader has to wait to the restart box. And when he gets the green flag, then he can go.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage to the leader, especially if it's someone that hasn't really gotten used to being on the front row. That's up there because they're going to be at a big disadvantage.
You ever watched our 87 League? First night we ran it at Phoenix, we had some struggles with it. Here we go. We're about to take the green flag here. Of course, Whitley running a new design tonight.
Yeah, Lakers themed, I would say.
Here he comes to get the green flag. We're going to get the first playoff race of Season 5 underway from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and green flag is in the air.
Really good jump there for Whitley.
Yes, sir.
We got some 3 wide a little further back. That's Jacob, I think that's Nicholas Fuller. I believe that's Joseph as well.
There they are, fanning down the backstretch. It's on 3 wide, 2 wide. Rob Squires gets a little loose. Squires is loose. He's gonna, oh, it's gonna stack him up.
Muscle's gonna go around, I believe.
I think he might have saved it. He'd lost it down into the grass, but I think he saved it.
He did save it. He's still going. We're still green. But early issues here tonight, we saw that Rob Squires got loose there in 3 and 4, and it caused a checkup.
And a great job by everyone to give him room to catch it and not cause a big one.
Here comes McWhorter, already working on Shoemaker.
Yeah, I think Joseph knows who his biggest competition is, so can't let him get away.
Of course, tonight's race is starting at 5:10ish them time, so it's with 2x time, so I don't believe we'll get to nightfall, but you never know about cautions.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely be at night next week, though, at Martinsville, so that'll be an interesting one, but, you know, I don't think we'll get tonight here, like you said, but here comes Joseph with a big run.
Yeah, Cunningham not letting Whitley pull away. You know, we heard Jarvis saying, and you guys as well, it's wide open.
Yeah, that draft is huge. That draft's going to play a big factor tonight. Joseph's going to look for the lead.
Yes, he is. Here he comes. Side by side down the front stretch. Teammates. We've seen these guys battle for before.
I think Joseph's going to get this done on the bottom.
He does. Joseph McWhorter to the lead at Las Vegas.
Yeah, Mark going to get blocked in a little bit. No, he's going to get clear. Almost got blocked in by Marcus Cunningham there. But those guys battling brings Bryce Shoemaker up into the equation.
Nice one, somebody. Look at Cunningham diving low. Oh, almost washes up into the 6th there.
Wow, aggressive move there by Marcus. He wants P2. And he's going to have a good line in the 30.
That's definitely going to check them up just enough. The 88 and the 51 are going to probably be able to get a little bit of a run to get brought back right up to them in the draft.
Sir.
Yeah, Marcus makes the pass.
Marcus Cunningham to P2. And he's going for the lead. Side by side, out of 2. Cunningham, McWhorter.
Now Marcus showed he had a fast truck in practice, and he's got the preferred line here. He's not going to be able to get clear this time, though. He's going to push up the track a little bit.
He's going to lead this lap, though. Marcus Cunningham, the rubbered-up driver, in the lead at Las Vegas.
And that really cost Joseph. He's going to lose a couple spots. I believe he's going to stay in P4.
It is getting crazy out there.
Yeah, I was not able to catch what Joseph said, but he said something real quick over voice chat as Marcus drifted up and they almost made contact there.
And Joseph's going to look to the outside of Shoemaker there. Get a little bit of draft from Mark Whitley.
Of course, we know that driver of 32, he will voice his displeasure if he's not happy with you.
Drives it in there deep.
It's going to be
wide.
3 wide. Yeah, you caught it. There it is. Gotta be careful not to smack the wall, too, there.
Bryce going to give him some room.
Of course, we had 2 weeks off from Talladega, the Dega Duel, so these guys are back out here for the first time in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'd say we needed 2 weeks off after that.
Of course, if you missed it, it was probably one of the most craziest finishes in this league's history.
I will say, I was actually quite surprised at how no one was overly angry at anybody after the race. It seemed like there was a lot of, hey, I wish you wouldn't have done that, but there was also a whole lot of, it's Talladega, it gets dumb.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of guys knowing it's Talladega, and it's also the last race before the playoffs, so people are going to be desperate.
Of course, we haven't even announced the biggest news. Season 6, this league is heading to the Xfinity cars. That's probably the biggest announcement we've made in a while, as we got a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, Joseph's going to cross over on Marcus Cunningham in the 3. He should make this pass pretty easily.
Now it's wide open
Marcus
here.
got that lead up there, and I think Joseph's saying, "Hang on, son. Let me assert where you belong in the totem pole here with getting back up to the lead like that."
Now we know that Joseph has history of burning his tires off and falling off the pace of the leader, so we'll see if he's learned anything off the 2 weeks off.
Yeah, and that's why you got to keep an eye on Mark, because it doesn't really look like he's pushing as hard as these front two.
Yeah, you got the top 12 all within under 2 seconds of each other right now, all the way back to the 89 truck there of Nicholas Post, all the way back there. Everybody's all kind of bunched up here. They're single file, but they're all in each other's draft.
Yeah, this feels a lot like Atlanta.
Of course, he's talking about you, Atlanta, but you were talking about Underwood getting disqualified there and qualifying. He's already up to P8.
Yeah, no surprise there.
So it's Ben Shelton starting to blink a little bit.
In others' news, the sky is blue.
There you go.
Sorry, Shelton. Had to.
Well, it's a little calm right now for the lead. Like I mentioned, we are heading to the Xfinity cars, so next time we ever come back here, if we're in the Xfinity cars, won't be this wide open anymore.
No, it'll be a very big difference from what I've heard about this Xfinity car.
My time on the sim here in the last year or two, pretty much a consensus is the Xfinity car is the most difficult out of the 3 to race. Although the next gen car, that one's pretty difficult. It's just a very different animal compared to anything else.
Now, of course, these drivers voted on what they wanted to race. They had the choice between the next gen, the trucks, and Xfinity, and Xfinity pulled out the win in the votes. These guys will have their hands full for every single race next year.
And I've heard it's a very tight setup car, so I'm interested to see what it's like.
Of course, Season 6 will kick off around September time, so but before we get there, we have to crown a champion of Season 5.
Yeah, we got 12 cars still under a blanket, like Bobby was mentioning earlier. All just running in a line.
These guys were mentioning, they wanted the new Atlanta on the schedule. Right now, it's still the old one, but they got it here tonight, basically.
Yeah, it's a preview. Marcus looks low.
Yep. Cunningham thinking about it.
I'm going to be curious as to see how tire wear goes here with those guys that are looking at running the top line. There's a few of these trioval tracks. Kansas is definitely one of them that is very highline dominant, but it also eats the tires up. So I'm kind of curious how Vegas is going to play out. I wonder if it'll play out pretty similar to how a Kansas race runs. The high line's faster, but you eat up the tires doing it.
Of course, we have the weather popped up on the screen. It is 65 degrees here in Vegas in July, so I think we're breaking some records with that. Track temp 85 degrees.
Sounds to me like the Raiders made it to the Super Bowl. Hell has frozen over in Las Vegas.
Well, there you go. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, how big of a factor is that track temp playing in how this race is going so far?
I would say it's probably helping them in terms of not wearing out the tires. Definitely cooler track is grippier. If it was running in the actual temperature that it is in Las Vegas today of well over 100 degrees with the sun coming down on this racetrack, you'd probably be looking at a track temp of 130, 140 plus. So the fact that it's as cool as it is giving these guys a lot more grip, and it's probably going to help them on the tire wear as well.
So we got to check around on the apron of 1 and 2. Nicholas Fuller is around on the apron. He has crashed, and he has towed it.
Yeah,
Truck has extensive damage.
Yeah, I heard the 00 call out wreck on the radio.
That was a
Not sure
very odd wreck there. We'll go back and look at it again. Like, I don't think Fuller knew the 21 was up there.
There's
Interesting.
no yellow for it because he didn't go around until after he went underneath that apron line. So iRacing did not recognize that he went around.
And Nicholas Fuller has called it a night.
Yeah, that's some pretty big namers there, so it's not surprising.
Ben Shelton on pit road, of course, he just got pancaked into the wall there.
Ben Shelton's luck continues into the playoffs.
Let's look at Shoemaker making a pass here on Mark Whitley.
Yeah, I believe Jordan Hand also got by Whitley.
Mark looks like he's falling back. I'm not sure if maybe he just
Mark's-
lost some momentum somewhere or what happened.
How could the track temp be affecting Mark? You know, maybe he practiced for hot temps and come in here and it's a pretty chilly day.
Yeah, and going back to talking about the track temp, I believe that if it was real-time temp, we would be getting a lot of messages about the track. And I'm very curious to see if it would be different than running in a line like it is right now.
McWhorter is able to open his lead up now. Pulling away a little bit, getting some breathing room finally.
Yes, we'll be about halfway through the stage here.
Lawrence working his way up to P5 currently. Has Ben Shelton is exiting pit road there. You see him on the bottom of the apron. Right now, your lowest running playoff driver, you see him there on your screen, is Michael Bussell, Ben Shelton's teammate.
Yeah, I had to take evasive actions to avoid that. Oh, so we got
Yes,
some
I see that.
cars.
I see it. We have it. Brian Underwood is in.
What happened there?
It was really dicey. I'm not sure if that was a planned pit stop or not, but I didn't hear anybody queue up on the radio.
We're
saying
seeing a
that they
lot
were
of damage
pitting.
on that right rear. And he's overshot his box. We'll go back and look at it.
Yeah, there was a very last second call, it looks like, by the 77 to hit pit road.
Yeah, not sure about that one.
And Brian's been in this league a long time too. Usually he's one of the best ones about calling out when he's hitting pit road and let people know, especially with that 22 that was right behind him.
It's Jonathan Smith. Good to see him back. Almost pancaked the 77 though.
Yeah, and if that would have happened, it would have been all on the 77 for not calling out he's pitting.
Guys, I'm very interested to see what is happening with that 6. He's all the way back in 10th.
And that's very interesting. He's about to lose another spot as well.
As we heard, coming in, as we were heading to Vegas a couple weeks ago, that Mark dominates at this track.
Yeah, so it was his favorite track on the sim, so I was expecting to see him up front. He qualified on pole, so I thought he was going to stay up there, but P11 right now.
I almost wonder if he's. I don't know if some of these guys are planning on pitting before the end of the stage, and he's maybe trying to run the whole stage on one set of tires. I wonder if that might be what he's thinking, because he's definitely off the pace compared to the others.
Taking a look at the car, there's no damage on it, so it's a clean truck right now. So it's obviously got to be something he didn't expect.
Last time around, Mark Whitley ran a 32.6. McWhorter up front is running a 32.2.
Okay. Go on his onboard into the corners.
Oh, we got a little fuel saving going on.
He's completely out of the gas.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
call. Good call.
He's clutching that.
So Mark Whitley saving. We were wondering, man, this guy's one of the fastest guys in the league. What's he doing all the way back in 13th? Yeah.
He's pulling a Brad Keselowski here.
The fuel.
Now, I have not had a chance to really practice. Would they normally be good to go for the entire first stage on fuel, or is that something that could be a little sketchy, and that could be why he's trying to save here?
Well, Josh usually, or Larry McReynolds up in the booth. Josh, have you heard anything? I mean, it's probably going to be pretty close.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone saying anything about fuel all week. So only thing I've heard really is about the tires not really falling off that much. Not much about the fuel though.
Jordan Hand works his way up to P2 side by side with his ex-teammate. And there's contact! Cunningham in hand. Slam doors. That's going to slow the 88 down. And here comes Bryce Shoemaker.
Bryce is going to take advantage of that and go to the outside. He's going to make a pass off turn 4.
Got some right side damage now on that 88. You can see it as he passes by through the trial oval.
Yeah, I guess the 34 would have a little bit of damage as well.
You caught it, Josh. Here comes Bryce Shoemaker looking for P2.
Lawrence will follow Bryce.
And right after that happened, the 34 keyed up on the radio and said, "Sorry about that, Jordan." So I wonder if he was trying to like hold a draft and he might have moved a little bit and not and kind of caught those guys off guard running side by side.
Very good point there. We're getting closer and closer to that stage. Of course, it's on lap 50, so...
Yeah, and I think Brian Underwood's, sorry to cut you off, I think Underwood's pit stop was a planned one, because right now he's about to fly past Mark Whitley, who's trying to make it to the end of this stage, I guess, without pitting.
Whereas Underwood with that very late decision to pit there. You really want to see your drivers call out when they're pitting there, especially when you got somebody right on your tail.
He's by far the fastest truck on the racetrack, but he's also a lap down. So
Jordan Crowder is in.
Yeah, Whitley on the radio just said he's got an idea he's trying.
So fuel in question here for this first stage. Of course, lap 50 was pushing it. course, if Whitley's able to do this, I mean, what can't the guy do?
Well, I think the big thing is it could put a lot of people a lap down.
We'll see if that happens. It's gonna mess up a lot of people's days.
It was definitely established in the Discord earlier this evening that Mark Whitley is good at many things other than rag racing as well. So he could just be flaunting that skill that he has in front of everybody here.
Now, something up with Joseph now?
I believe Joseph is saving now. Yes, he is. Last time by 33.3 for Joseph.
All the meanwhile, Brian Underwood's last lap was a 31.8, so he's definitely significantly faster than everybody else, but he is a lap down. So it'll be interesting to see how far he'll be able to catch his way back up.
Nicky Bobby in. Yes, McWhorter is saving a ton. Look at the lead. It is shrunk down to a 10th, and it's going to shrink even more because Shoemaker to the lead.
Yeah, that lead was almost 2 seconds, and now it's gone. Bryce Shoemaker to the lead.
Bryce Shoemaker, of course, scored his best finish this season of a P3. Now he's leading laps here.
And Lawrence Shaughnessy very, very sneakily up into the top 3 here.
He wants to make it top 2. He's looking on the inside of Marcus there.
Yeah, ideally, I guess it kind of depends on how bad the tire fall off is. But if there is tire fall off, going the Brian Underwood strategy of splitting this stage perfectly in half would definitely be a faster way to do it, because look at how much faster he is right now than everybody else on track who's on much older tires. The question, I guess, is how much of the speed that these guys are giving up, how much of that is tires and how much of that is fuel saving?
We know the 6 is pretty much all fuel saving. And I believe the 32 is doing the same thing now.
Is correct. He is. So is the 88.
Is the 96?
88 has also adapted that strategy. 96, he's on the gas, man. He's not worried about saving fuel.
You got the 34 and the 9 up here as well. I think they're going pretty hard still.
Of course, that is Ben Shelton there on the outside of the 34 and 9. He is a couple laps down. But he's on fresher tires here.
Yeah, he's 3 laps down right now. Definitely going to want to make that 2. It's definitely a lot easier to make it that lead lap 2 down.
Yeah, Jordan Hand is completely off the gas pedal. We got him running 34-second laps now. More people are picking up the strategy, and Michael Bussell has adapted the strategy. Jacob Houbre.
Looks like our front 5 here, are they pretty much all taking the how slow can you go fast strategy?
What it's looking like. Very interesting here. Really shook this thing up. We were running a line there for a couple laps. Now we got a lot of strategy.
And Ben Shelton's going to get clear and get a lap back there. That's going to slow down Bryce a little bit. And here comes Marcus.
Here comes Lawrence as well. Of course, Lawrence still looking for that first career win here. First, that 21 truck, as we mentioned, he's 2 laps down. He is not the race leader.
Watch for the 96 pitting this time. He just
96
called it
is
out on
pitting,
race
yep.
chat.
And 96 and the 48 both pitting this lap, lap 44.
So we'll see what Cunningham and McWhorter do here. They're playoff drivers. Of course, Lawrence is not. And there's contact! 9 hits the back bumper to 34. It sends the 9 up the track. Keeps it out of the wall, though.
Yeah, that's going to get Joseph a pretty big run on him.
A lot of guys in. Squires, Shoemaker, both Shoemakers. Hand. Jordan Hand has pitted.
Post is in this lap. I believe Houbre's in this lap.
Yep. Post, Houbre in. McWhorter, lead.
0-1 in this lap.
bustle in.
32 in this lap.
Now, these guys have to get this done because remember, pit road closes with 2 to go. "32's in. Cunningham's
32's
in. Shaughnessy's
34's
in.
Non's in.
Smith's in.
22's in.
That's going to give the lead to Nathan Brookover. He's going to lead his first ever laps here.
Well, I'm keeping my eye on Brian Underwood right now. See where he's going to come out in all this. So he's entering 3 now.
Keep your eye on Mark Whitley. Has he saved enough? He's up to P2.
Less than 5 to go in the stage here. Underwood's at the start-finish now.
Brookover's in. Whitley's going to be the leader.
That's going to get the lead back to Whitley. Can Underwood gain enough?
Has Whitley caught a hell of a strategy move? Whitley, race lead now.
I believe Joseph's still in P2.
Going to be very,
let's see
very
as they
interesting.
shuffle out here. I'm showing Whitley P1, Underwood P2.
Okay.
Got to wait for timing and scoring to refresh here. I show the 34 in third, 96 in fourth, 32 in fifth.
White flag of the stage. He's going to do it, isn't he?
Underwood's about 2 seconds a lap faster, but I just don't think he's got enough. He's not going to be able to catch that gap up.
What a strategy call. Here he
Now,
comes.
the one thing the 6 has to hope is that he has enough fuel to not just get to the end of the stage here, but also for the fuel to bunch up and for him to be able to get back to pit road, depending on how close he is.
That's just crazy, as Mark Whitley wins the stage.
What a call. Both the 6 and the 77. I got to give those guys. That's if we had a Snap-on Tools move of the race or somebody sponsoring something like that, I'd say I'd give it to both of those guys for figuring that out that early.
There's the caution. First caution of the night. So, do you guys like that strategy move? You expect anyone to come down with pit road here with Whitley, or, you know, it could send him all the way back to the back? Keep an eye on that. That's going to be very interesting. But, of course, Mark Whitley wins the stage after an incredible strategy call to save a fuel for the majority of stage 1.
I'll be curious here to see if the field is able to bunch up here and Whitley's able to come into an open pit road this time.
Half a lap to spare on 6.
Yep, half a lap, he just said on the voice chat.
Incredible job there.
Here he comes down pit road. Let's see who comes behind him here. 77's in, 34's in, 32. Looks like everybody's going to come back down pit road. Now we got a couple staying out. Shaughnessy stays out. The 33 Esquire stays out.
Well, I'd look for those guys like Joseph to maybe top off here. But I expect the front 2 definitely taking 4.
Yeah, the 6 is still on his original tires from the start of the race. The I didn't catch whether or not the 77 took a full set of 4 tires on his stop or not. I would imagine he probably did.
Yeah, as fast as he was definitely on 4 fresh ones.
You called it, Joseph McWhorter. Only on pit road there for 5 seconds in his box. Topped it off.
Now, how long was Whitley on pit road?
Whitley was on pit road for 15:43.
So 4 tire stop there. What about 77?
See where he is. That is a 24-second stop.
So that's probably 4 tires and damage.
It's all the right-end damage there. course, we want to thank our sponsors, 1-3 Speed, Maconi Setup Shop, Next Level Racing, and ButtKicker for their incredible support throughout the entire season and for this final playoff push here for Season 5. Thank you for your support all throughout the season as we get ready to crown a champion in our playoffs.
Yeah, and Jordan Kreider's going to come in this lap.
So when we go back green here, boys, Rob Squires is going to be your race leader.
A new guy up front. Then you got a couple guys behind them. Front row that's staying out. The next couple guys probably topped off. And then Mark Whitley on 4.
Yeah, I'm showing the 33 is currently 8 laps into his stint, so he would have just pitted just before the end of the stage there. The 32 and the 22 both looks like they either took fuel only or 2 tires at the most. They both had stops in the 5-second range. The 48 of Keith Shoemaker in 7th place, he has a 7-second stop. So looks like him and perhaps Jacob Hubry, either 2 tires or fuel only on that one. Looks like everybody else did 4.
Yeah, and you guys want to do a quick interview?
Yeah, we're going to pull him up. Here's Lawrence Shaughnessy, of course, running P2. Josh, go ahead with your first question for Lawrence.
All right, Lawrence, Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, you're P2 right now. What was the tire wear looking like during that first run for you?
As far as actual percentage, it was pretty significant, but the truck didn't feel any worse. Moved forward the whole run. Felt good about it. Obviously, stage points don't matter to me, so I was going to run it out and try to get some track position. Going to need a yellow here at some point to kind of get back on strategy fuel-wise with these guys. It's going to be real tight here, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I don't know if you just noticed there, but Joseph McWhorter
Yeah.
just boxed as well with Whitley there.
Yeah, they're
Whitley's starting
topping
to
off.
come
They're fighting for playoff spots, man. I'm trophy hunting. I'm AJ Allmendinger in the Xfinity Series.
Well, you
Colin
see,
Racing a couple years ago.
Trophy hunting, how's the truck, man? You got a chance tonight?
I think so. It's fast. It feels good. Kind of figure out the line here. See how this restart zone thing works. It's the first time I've been on the front row for one of these, but yeah, it feels good. I definitely think I'm better than this 33 truck, so we'll go by him and hopefully get out here and lead some laps. Guys on fresh stuff behind me, but we'll see.
Alrighty, well, just make sure you don't wreck it like Texas, right?
That's right.
All right, man. Good luck.
Later.
Just had to remind him of that right there.
Yeah, never let them forget.
Of course, the driver of the 32 was not very happy when that caution came out. But, as we were talking to Lawrence there, you guys called it McWhorter Whitley came in to top off there. So they're going to be starting in the plumb back.
That's definitely an interesting call. It's definitely not easy to pass.
It's and we know it gets crazy back there. There's no offense to the guys that run back there, but here we go. Rob Squires is the leader. Barney's got the green flag in hand, and there it is.
And a good initial start for the 33, but didn't get going after that. Lawrence is going to take the lead in turn 1.
Lawrence Shaughnessy to the lead here.
Marcus is going to try and follow him around the outside.
Just real quick note, almost disaster on that restart. There was a checkup in the back that almost caught out the 32 and the 6.
And could you guys imagine if those two get knocked out? This thing is wide open, man.
Yeah, Rob Squires not letting Lawrence get away. Pretty big run off turn 4.
Underwood up to P5.
Yeah, he's also on fresh tires, but didn't pit the top off. A block there by the 9. It's going to slow down Rob Squires, and here comes Cunningham around the outside of Squires.
First truck on fresh tires that just pitted there is going to actually be the 34 truck. He just pitted that last time for 4 tires.
Yeah, looking a little further back, I see the 32. I do not see the 6.
We got
I
six
think
running
he's
right
just
now,
lagging
13.
back a little. I think he's just giving a little bit of a gap because he sees a little bit of craziness up in front of him.
Hey, that's what happens when you got those extra playoff points. You can be a little more cautious to start off a run.
And he got his stage points there on that stage, and the next time we award points is the end of the race. So to him, there's no reason to get up here and junk your truck on lap 75.
Well,
Got some
I'll tell you
contact
one
there.
that's not, taking it easy. That's his teammate, the 32. He's
driving
making
it early,
passes
too.
here on the outside. Been watching him work his way through up the field. Now he's on the back bumper of that 77.
As we got some 3 wide behind him.
I'm very impressed. He's having a career day so far. Rob Squire is still in that P2 spot. And there's contact. There's going to be a big
Trouble.
one. Oh, 22's in the wall. No caution.
Nobody went all the way around, so I don't know if that'll be a yellow.
Let's go back and look at it. What just happened?
If somebody has access to a race control radio, maybe let them know that nobody went all the way around, and that's why there's no yellow.
Yeah, I think iRacing definitely letting them race tonight.
Looks like the 77 might have gotten to the 22 there, and that caused that whole thing there. So we see it live or on a replay from the blimp cam. Joseph McWhorter barely scraping by that.
Yeah, and he wanted a caution there, and he got a right to be mad there. He missed it, but he lost a lot of track position.
Ryan Underwood's got damage as well. He hit that wall pretty good there after getting into the 22 and starting that wreck.
Yeah, and we've talked about the temperature a little bit today. It's already falling. We're down to 78 track temp.
It's only going to get colder because you see there is completely no sun on the track.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this time of year, sunset in Las Vegas is probably somewhere around 8 p.m. or so local time.
Jacob Huber looking to go to P3 here. Jacob Huber, the highest running playoff driver right now. I bet you didn't have that on your bingo card tonight.
I know Jacob's a great driver, but yeah, definitely didn't have that one on there tonight.
Of course, if you're joining us, why was that not a caution? iRacing controls the cautions, and sometimes they just don't throw them.
Yeah, iRacing is very particular, especially when it comes to that apron line. If a truck does not go all the way around within the bounds of what iRacing considers the racetrack, which is from the apron line to the wall, iRacing has no clue that it exists, basically.
And looking further back to see what Joseph's doing, he's just gotten around his teammate Mark Whitley. Slowly starting to march his way back up after having to check up and miss that wreck.
Yeah, the iRacing way that they handle that apron line, that's been a point of contention in the officials this week with Atlanta. People telling me that the spotter does not call out any vehicles that are below the apron line going through the quad oval at Atlanta, and that definitely has been causing some issues.
Oh, sounds like fun. Back up front though, boys. Lawrence in control, but Squire's not letting him, pull away, and Jacob Hooper is catching up on this.
Yeah, and he's got a big run right here.
Yeah, Jacob's going to be your highest runner currently that pitted on that stage caution. I do believe he only took 2 tires. I don't believe he took 4 because he was only in the pits for 8 seconds. Next one back is going to be the 96 right behind him. He's the first one on 4 tires on that stage break.
And Jacob's got the preferred line here for P2. should make this pass.
He is. Jacob Oubre up to P2. Here comes Bryce Shoemaker.
And Bryce is going to try and follow him on the bottom. Get past Rob.
Of course, Jacob Oubre is a two-time winner here, so he's been to victory lane before. Shoemaker with a good run here on the 51.
And I think we're seeing a difference between 4 and 2. Right there.
Well, boys, it's shaping up to be one of those, World of Stock Car Racing League mile-and-a-half races with the cautions. Knock on wood. Of course, we should have had some, but we haven't. So,
And Bryce is going to look to the inside of Jacob for P2. He's going to have that bottom in the turn 1. He might go before turn 1.
Yeah, I think if we go back to Texas, I believe was our last mile and a half. Now, I'm not sure how the tire wear compares between Vegas and Texas, but it seemed like from about lap 15 to 20 and onward is where you started to see a little bit of a difference in speed on tires. And we're at 17 laps since that last stage break. So that could be where you're starting to see these guys that took 4 versus 2 starting to come back up to the top here.
And I think you're also seeing 4 versus no new tires. Bryce is moving in the 9 right now.
Bryce Shoemaker looking for that first career win. So is Lawrence. So is Marcus Cunningham. We're on lap 70 already. I mean, this race is flying by.
Yeah, Jacob's going to lose 2 spots here in 3 and 4. Losing to Marcus and Michael Bussell. Bussell ain't done.
Yeah, Michael Bussell with a comeback. Of course, he had that early spin and save, so good to see him back. That stage break really helped him. We got 3 wide behind Oubre.
Joseph is not waiting around for these guys. He sees an open and he's going for it.
Yeah, I believe he sees red right
Yeah,
now.
I think there's some steam coming out of the window net there.
And you know who probably loves to hear Joseph driving mad? I believe that's Mark Whitman. It just means Joseph's driving a lot harder than he usually is.
Looks like the 32 and 51 almost got into it. That's going to allow Nicky Bobby around Jacob.
Yeah, maybe even Rob Squires.
I know Jacob's not going to be happy about that move. It kind of pushed him up the track there. We see Mark Whitley back there in that purple and yellow truck, trying to work his way around Squires.
And our 2 battles up front, looking about the same. Michael Bussell, he's looking to clear for P3 off turn 2, and he's going to do it.
'96 all over the back of the 9 there.
You can just tell those new tires are making a big difference for him right now.
It's not a dramatic difference in the age of the tires. It's about 5 laps, and a couple of those are going to be from running under yellow on the stage break. So it's not a huge difference in the tires, but definitely looks like enough. Oh, Lawrence! Oh no!
Ooh!
Almost got the 96.
That would have been a horrible crash for the 96. Man, I would have felt really bad for Bryce there.
But, that allows Bryce to get to the lead. Sure he had a, oh my God moment right there, but he's clear and he's going to try and pull away here.
And if he ends up making it to the podium, he probably will be requesting a fresh fire suit before his interview tonight.
Well, if we do get a caution, we will bring him in for an interview, just to ask for that. The sun is finally back out. Maybe we get some temp back into this track here.
Still falling.
We'll pop it up for you here on the side there. It's down to 76 degrees.
getting close to the temperature I got my air conditioning set to.
Yep. So Whitley, currently P8. McWhorter P4.
Yeah, McWhorter's probably about to be P3. He's on a charge right now. He might have some damage though.
Yeah, I'm seeing some damage there on the right rear of that truck.
I think he might have got up in the wall. Yeah, that's how it's messed up.
Not slowing him down though.
Yeah, he's taking a look there.
Let's see if he can get this pass done here. We'll see that damage as he comes to the travel here.
Yeah, right about in the middle of the door there, right about where the 3 is in his number. Looks like there's a good little dent in that thing.
Now, I wonder if that's from him getting into Jacob or maybe something else.
Bad news for all the Benjamin Shelton fans. Looks like he has decided to go fishing for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, but his luck at the mile and a half's continued. As Bustle fighting back on McWhorter. Meanwhile, Bryce Shoemaker opening up a 1.8 second lead.
Running really good lap times as well. He's the fastest truck on the track right now. He's still down in the 31s. Everyone else is in the 32s.
Yeah, now while you guys are talking, I went back and took a look at it. It was from where he made contact with the 51 where he got that damage.
Have we checked on the 51? Does he have any damage there on that left side?
I'll go take a look at
It
that
looks
now.
pretty clean.
Yeah, his left side looks fine.
Well, interesting there. Guess they built them Tundra there pretty good on the 51. It's Joseph McWhorter up to P2. He's on a mission.
Yep, and now we're probably about to see his pace here this next lap or two.
Getting some clean air. Let's see what that 32 can do. Can he run down Bryce? You see Whitley creeping up into the photo there. I see him in P7 back there. He's behind Han and Cunningham.
Yeah, and that post Joseph's hard charge, fly through the field strategy. Whitley slow and steady.
Last time by Bryce Shoemaker, 31.9 to Joseph McWhorter's 32.0. Could tonight be the night for Bryce Shoemaker? Here we are on lap 83. Your top 5 currently: Shoemaker, McWhorter, Shaughnessy, Bustle, and Jordan Hand.
Yeah, and Bryce still the fastest truck compared to Joseph. 32.0 for Joseph, 31.9 for Bryce Shoemaker.
Of course, we take a look back in P14. That's Brian Underwood, the lowest running playoff driver right now. Got a lot of damage. That's slowed that truck way down. So he's going to take a playoff hit in the points, but
He's got a couple playoff points he can rely on, but definitely not as many as some others.
so let's pull it up on your screen here, give you some information. The last time these guys were in, let's pull up the pit stop lap. As you see, Bryce Shoemaker was last in on lap 51. McWhorter 53, Shaughnessy 46, Jordan Hand 51, Whitley 53, Bustle 52, Cunningham 51, and Mickey Bobby 51.
Yeah, those numbers for the 32 and the 6 are going to be ever so slightly deceptive. Their tires are the same age as the others, that pitted at the stage break, but they did come back down and top off with a little bit of extra fuel.
Yeah, and while you're talking there, Bobby, we got 2 cars coming into pit road. 69 and Jordan Kreider, and I believe the 77 of Brian Underwood's going to follow.
Yeah, Kreider, I think, or I'm sorry, not Kreider. Underwood definitely needs to change strategy here a little bit. I think he was pretty hurt from that damage earlier there in that stage, and he was pretty much running at the back of the pack. So if you're Brian Underwood, go ahead and make a swing for it here.
As we can, yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Battle for P3, it's not much of a battle. Mark Whitley move up to 3rd.
I just want to show something on the screen real quick. Shoemaker is pulling this gap out even further. It's up to 3.1 now. We can see it as it has grown from lap 81 to 86.
Putting in some amazing lap times compared to the rest of the field right now.
Lap 81, it was a 2.4 second lead. Now it's at a 3.1. So Rice, really fast Tundra tonight. We'll see what he can do with it. But as you called it, right, Mark Whitley back up to P3 in that podium spot. Of course, Melvin's out of the race, Nicholas Fuller out of the race, Benjamin Shelton out of the race, and Jonathan Smith was running good tonight. Had a little contact from the 77. That ended his night.
Anyway, as I start to think about this a little bit, I'm wondering if that extra little splash of fuel that the 32 and the 6 took, I wonder if that may come into play here. Because if those other guys had to pit at about 45 to 46 of that stage, we went green with about 95 or so to go. So I wonder if that little splash that they got might just be enough to make a difference on only making... Assuming we go green all the way here, that could be the difference between making it on one more stop or needing to get a second splash.
So Bryce Shoemaker, like we said, was in on lap 51. Water 53, Whitley 53. When I look at these, really your biggest ones that are out of the sequence would be Squires and Shaughnessy. Squires lap 44, and then Lawrence came in at 46.
And they're still out there running, so 0-0 in this lap run.
All right, Mickey Bobby.
I'm checking on board the 6. I'm not hearing him doing the clutch and coast. But I'm wondering if he is doing a little bit of fuel saving in the middle of the corner, because I've noticed a few times now he's actually almost had those guys behind him run him over a little bit. It's like they're getting back in the throttle sooner than he is.
I don't think there's much fuel saving he can be doing right now.
Got some hungry hounds behind him. Yeah, you mentioned that.
48 trucks in this time, Keith Shoemaker.
Of course, Keith from his 3rd race with us. Some good runs there in the duels.
'96 is in.
The 6 is
in.
starting the clutch and coast. That time through 3 and 4, I heard that clutch go in.
Rob Squires is in. So that ends the
6 on
lead to
pit
Nick
road.
Warder.
I think you're about to watch the 6 truck plummet through the field, but it is by design.
As you called it, there he is. Starting to fall back once again.
Yep, he is doing the clutch and coast now in every corner.
Yeah, and he's even got a little draft right now, so he can set a little bit more down the straightaways as well.
Rice coming off pit road there. Good stop from the 96. We'll see where he filters out. All right, we'll see who's coming down pit road next.
I'd have to imagine the 9's going to be pretty close here.
Now, are you
9
guys
in
calling
this
these the last
9 in
pit
this
stops,
lap.
or should we expect more after these?
Uh,
Or it's going to be very close?
it's close. I think it's actually out of the window. If we were struggling to make 40, make 50, we're over 50.
Now watch for that 9 truck this time by here. He's calling it out on the radio.
See if he can get it slowed down here. He does. Hard pit road to get on, but, you know, we were at Texas earlier this year. Not as hard as Texas, though, right, Josh?
Correct. Texas pit road very hard.
So, you guys are listening to the radio. Let us know who's coming in next.
At 96 is currently flying right now, by the way, on those fresh tires.
There he is. We see him going around Brookover and Whitley.
Yeah, that's the strategy he's in now. He's got to go. He probably gonna have to make another pit stop for some fuel.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to be able to make it from there. He is 3 laps into the run. We're on lap 96. So that would be, he'd have to go about 57 laps on a tank in order to make it. I highly doubt that. Now, Whitley has already shown he can go 50. So if he can go, we're on 98 right now. If he can go a handful of more laps, if he can get to that 102, 103, he'd be able to make it from there.
Where I think everyone was pitting around lap 46 in stage 1, so lap 104 probably the magic number.
Of course, Nicholas Post working his way up into the top 5, running 5th right now at 89. You guys are listening to the radio. Any chatter, or we have radio silence?
Pretty quiet right now. I've just been riding on board with a couple different guys just to see what they're doing. See if any fuel savings going on. 88 in this lap. Lap
Yeah,
99.
88's coming. Now, this is where, like I mentioned before, I think that extra splash that the 32 and 6 had, this is where they're gonna get another extra lap or two over everybody else here because of that splash. I believe that was the 51 pitting.
51.
Jacob with a very, very, very conservative approach there to that pit entrance. He's going to lose some time off of that.
32 in this lap.
See if the 32 can get it woed down here. Good stuff. That's going to bring Michael Bustle to the lead.
Got Bustle 1, Whitley 2, Nicholas Post 3.
Michael Bustle had a very chaotic start to this race, of course, going for a little bit of a almost spin there on the front stretch. Kept it under green, though. As Bustle's coming in, he transitions from the track to the apron.
6 stays out, one more lap.
Yeah, so does 89. I believe both might have hit it at the same time.
Yes, they did. 89 and
Well,
6
we
are
got
on the
the-
same strategy, but you can see how much fuel the 6 is saving.
27 is in. 34 is also in.
'89 in.
89 in. 6 is going to go longer, it looks like.
See where the 6 goes. He's going to go one more.
It's going to be very close at the end because he's going to have people on. It's going to be a wild ending, so don't go anywhere. I don't even know what to say.
I'm going to guess he's in this lap because he charged. Yep, there, he just called it out over the radio. He didn't clutch and coast in 1 and 2, so I was taking a guess. He's pulling a Michael Schumacher on that last in lap, trying to get as much as he can.
All right, let's see if he can get it woed down here. Maconi would kill his 9th. Woes it down just enough. Whitley's in. So let's see who takes the lead here. We believe it's going to be Shoemaker.
Yeah, that 96 is he's gonna have a nice gap. The next truck behind him is the 33, and there's about 5 seconds in between those two trucks.
Keep an eye on Whitley's stop here. It's obviously going to be a 4-tire, full tank of gas.
Yeah, I heard over the radio, 89 too fast on pit road.
Ah,
Man,
Great strategy for him, just couldn't get it woken down. He would have been in line for a really nice finish.
and Whitley is off. 15-second stop.
yep, that's a full tank of fuel, and he's in at what are we calling that lap? He was in 103.
Yep.
So he would have 47 to get there.
Now, Shoemaker with about a second quicker stop than Whitley. We'll see if, every second matters. We'll see if that comes into play.
A little bit of an issue we just had on the racetrack between the 9 and the 00. No, there's a little bit of contact between the two.
Yeah, 9 came up on the 00 there, it looked like. 00 hard.
Maybe a little bit of internet shenanigans there. I don't think that they were close enough that it should have caused a reaction that so severe. Nine came over the radio and asked, "Did we touch there?" Because he said that felt really weird, and the 32 responded to that, said, "Yeah, it looked really weird from his angle as well."
Yeah, the 00 on pit road.
Really tough break for that 00. He was in line for a really good finish. So field's pretty spread out right now. We got Shoemaker in front by about 5.5 seconds over Squires. Squires has almost 3 seconds on Jordan Kreider. Shaughnessy's in fourth. He may have some damage though from that incident. And then there's McWhorter in fifth place.
We know the strategy Whitley's on. He should be able to push all the way now, right?
He may have to do a little bit of saving, but I don't think he's going to have to do a full run of constant saving.
We'll see what he can do. I mean, the time's already going down 18.8, so we'll see.
Now, what I'm wondering is if Bryce maybe splits this in half, because I believe Jordan Kreider's going to split this in half. He was one of the first guys in, so maybe he'll pit a little bit earlier, see what he can do.
Bryce racing the other Shoemaker there. Josh, we were going in here thinking, this race might get dominated, but here we are, strategy in play full. Nicky Bobby back in.
Yeah, Nicky Bobby just came in the radio and said definitely a little bit of net code on the incident with him and Lawrence.
The 32 has made it known to the 9 that he is enjoying the draft that he is receiving off of the 9 right now.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that. He did say he was saving. I'm pretty sure he also said everyone has to pit again or no one has to pit again. Not sure which one he actually said because it kind of cut out for me.
There's no way that a number of these guys can make it. The only one I see making it is Whitley and maybe the 32. Whitley is by far the actually no, I take that back. I would say everybody from 1st through 6th is definitely going to have to pit again. 7th you got Bustle, who's 9 laps into a fuel run, and then Whitley, who's 7 laps into a fuel run. Those are the guys that might be able to stretch it, but the only one that I would feel comfortable putting any money on actually being able to make it would be the 6.
I'd say the 89 probably has a chance too, but a lap down right now. Maybe can get a top 10 out of it.
Bryce Shoemaker last in on 92. He would have to do an incredible job of saving.
Yeah, and he's not taking.
Yeah, he's still running mid 31, so he's definitely running it for as much as he can. He's got, let's see, if we go back to the 6, he's got about a 17-second gap over the 6, who is in 7th place right now.
Next time by, we're going to get lap 115. As Shoemaker comes up on his ex-teammate, Cunningham.
And not sure what happened to Marcus under that cycle, but definitely cycling him a lot further back than he was earlier.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he had a penalty because I'm showing him a lap down, and he was right with all the leaders before the pit stop cycle.
Jacob Hoobury also a lap down.
And you called Jacob. He very cautious on the pit road.
Every second matters. But while we have this green flag run, let's thank our sponsors, 1-3 Speed, Maconi Setup Shop, Next Level Racing, and ButtKicker. First, thank you for your support all throughout the season and here for the playoffs. We'll get ready to wind this race down. We'll do the ones to watch. Josh, who's your one to watch?
I mean, I'm watching a bunch of different strategies, but I think the winning one's going to be on the 6 truck. I think he's got the right strategy. He's the best at saving he's shown so far, and I think he's going to get it done off of that strategy.
And Bobby, who's your one to watch?
I would say my one to watch, maybe not necessarily for the win, but definitely got to be a very, very happy night so far for the 33 of Rob Squires. He is not really, he's kind of been a mid-pack truck for a lot of his time here with us in this league, and he's definitely showing tonight that he's showing some speed tonight. He's running pace for pace right there with Bryce. They're both running 31.9s. So, got to give a good shout out to the 33. He just brings it home clean. He's going to have a happy night.
My one to watch is going to be Joseph McWhorter. Of course, he pitted about 3 laps before Whitley, so he's going to be close on it.
Yeah, and while we were talking about our ones to watch, some news over the radio right there. The 9 comes in. Joseph thanks him. Joseph says he's good right now to go to the end.
Very interesting. We'll see if that burns off.
Yeah, because if you're going to split this stint here, you got what? Let's see, about 32, 33 laps until the end here. And some of those guys that are up front last pitted about 25 to 26 laps ago. So if you're going to split the stint, you're definitely in the window where the moment you start feeling the speed coming off that truck, you go ahead and hit pit road.
Yeah, and I don't think it's happened yet.
Yeah, those guys up at the front are still running fantastic lap times.
And I'm also looking towards Whitley and McWhorter. Mark Whitley just ran a 31.3.
Yeah, I wonder if he took it easy there for the first few laps, tried to get what fuel savings he needed to get, and it's go time now.
When that time comes across, that'll get your attention.
Yeah, another 31.3 that lap as well.
Yeah, it's in the battle before, but it's about to heat up once again, the 6 and the 32. Of course, you got Jordan Hand in front of him.
And yeah, I missed it. 31.2 the lap before the 31.3, so some fast ones right now for the 6 truck.
They look inside here on the 88. Very interesting, but just as the 6.
It's gonna make this pass pretty easy.
Now, I wonder if at this point, we know the 6 and the 32 are teammates. You think maybe the 6 is going to get out there and run block because he knows he's got enough to get to the end, and then the 32 can just catch a little bit of a draft on him here for a little
Very
bit?
could well be the case. They're about a tenth faster than Bryce that last time by.
Yeah, Bryce has about 12 and a half seconds gap over those guys. They got the 33 Esquire's about 6 seconds up the road.
Yeah, that gap's definitely closing though.
Yeah, if the 6 and the 32 do not have to pit again, I think it's... I think barring a yellow, the rest of the field's not going to be able to compete with that strategy, I think.
We shall see. Iverson has not wanted to throw the yellow tonight, so you might actually have to do it for Dale to get the caution tonight.
Yeah, Joseph's definitely no saving going on right now.
This could be the battle for the win here we're watching.
I think, though, if you're the 32, even if you feel like you're faster than the 6, I think you just kind of ride along there. I think you actually saw it right there going into turn 3. The 32 kind of backed off a little on entry to the corner, almost like he's maybe letting off just a little bit early, but he's still close enough to get that draft.
You know, right now it doesn't look like the strategy's going to go his way, but a great race for Bryce.
He is going to lead the most laps this race, so...
Yeah, definitely. 96 is showing he's got some speed here in the playoffs. Sorry, I don't have it up here in front of me. Is he in the playoffs?
He is not.
Yeah, so his job these next few races is show everybody he's got some speed here and see if he can steal a win out from these guys.
I'd definitely watch for him at a short track because he was got his only podium of the season at Myrtle Beach earlier this season. Or one of his only podiums. Might have got another one.
Scar's on the lead lap. First car lap downs Nathan Brookover. Keep that in mind if we have a caution.
Yeah, this is one of those races that if you're a big fan of big pack side-by-side racing, maybe not your favorite of the year, but if you're into the details and the strategy calls and the how did former president call it, the strategery, that would definitely be a good way to phrase how interesting tonight's race has been.
So, you know, some drivers have, you know, voiced their complaints that I've been a lot of green flag racing. Well, you got it tonight.
Yeah, and as we were talking about others, Jordan Kreider made his pit stop. He is the 4th car a lap down right now in P10.
He's currently running 31 4s. Those front guys have slowed down a bit. They're running high 31s to right around low 32s. So he is definitely faster. I'm just not sure if he's going to be able to make up the difference because he's more than a lap behind.
Yeah, definitely not going to be on those top guys, but definitely could get maybe a top 5 here tonight, depending on how this shuffles out.
Which you've already mentioned it. Next week, we go from 1.5 miles to the short track of Martinsville. Bryce Shoemaker's in.
Yep, lap 129.
Yeah, we're splitting it just about in half, running about 30 or so laps per, actually 30, yeah, about 30 on each run there.
When was the last time the 33 was in?
He is currently on lap 37 of his stint.
Right side goes up on that 96. Gonna be a 4-tire stop. Probably not gonna win the race, but and the 33's in. He's gonna come in hot though. Gets it low down. Puts Whitley in the lead, boys.
At Whitley P1, Joseph P2.
You've seen this before. Now, does McWhorter
that-
race him different? You know, because you know Whitley's got some point gap, right? He's got some playoff points to play with.
The 33 is upset about something. I wonder if he had a penalty on pit road.
Now, we did see the 48 in front of the 33 when he was pitting him. We don't know if that caused him a problem.
Yes, it did. 48 hits him on pit road.
Wow.
Sends
Wow.
him out.
Oh, man. And that's going to shatter what was a career day for that 33.
Oh man, that's heartbreak for that 33. But just if he comes back and watches the replay of this race, don't worry, Rob. We know you were here tonight. You ran a damn good race. His finish may not show how. His finish is definitely not going to show how fast he was tonight.
That's interesting.
It is very interesting. I was just looking at that, Josh. I think I know what you're about to say. Are you Bryce?
Yeah, he's running some pretty fast ones right now.
Now, are the tires going to fall off? I mean, he's in
Low
fourth.
31s.
He is in fourth. 28 seconds back, but he is flying.
Yeah, he only has to run 30 laps or so on these sets on this set of tires. You can almost afford to run them hard here because we know that the tires can run well into the 40s. They just give up a little bit of speed.
Oh wow,
Not
32.
a lot of spinning.
32 in this lap.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So a little fake out on the radio. He said he was good. Obviously not. Or do they see the speed of that 96?
Makes you wonder what the 6 does here. He's the 88's out there still with him. I don't think the 88's going to be able to make it. But what does the 6 do here? Does he go ahead and pit to cover him, or does he run this out?
Man, Bryce is going to pass Joseph.
Shoemaker about 2 seconds faster than Whitley right
Yeah, there goes the 96 going into turn 1.
A 30.9 that lap for Bryce Shoemaker.
Holy smokes.
now. He is absolutely flying. You know, Josh, you call him Schumacher sometimes. He might be turning into that. He's going to have to run those lap times like Schumacher, though, if he wants to catch him.
And
Jordan
getting a
Hand
little
in.
draft
Jordan
help.
Hand in.
Getting a little draft help here for this lap. 30.9 again for the 96.
So we're seeing people that pitted around where Whitley pitted. Is Whitley going to be able to make it?
I think they're trying to cover off the speed of the 96.
That's what I wonder too.
Because Jordan
what is it?
Kreider,
It's about a second and a half a lap.
Jordan Kreider's also gotten past the 32 truck. Kreider can also go to the end.
Oh yeah, he's definitely good to go.
If Whitley's going to pit, he's going to have to do it now.
Well, he's already lost a lead at this point if he bids.
Yeah, I know. You know, the time you lose on pit road, and if he has to save any fuel, this is man.
Yeah, he's pretty much made his bed. He has to lay in it at this point and just see what happens. I think the 6 is probably going to be able to make it. Based on what I saw in the first couple of fuel runs there, I think the 6, he's got the strategy figured out. He knows exactly what he needs to do with that truck in order to get maximum fuel out of it.
So on lap 132, we got the live timing on the screen. Lap 132, it was a 28-second gap between Shoemaker and Whitley. Right now, it's down to 22.0.
Yeah, real time. It's cut down a lot more than that. I'm showing it 20.2 currently in terms of live real timing.
Now, was Jordan Hand's pit stop, was it 2?
Yes, I'm showing a 5.6 second pit stop on that 88 truck.
Probably fuel only.
Or it could be fuel only, yeah.
And he has also gotten ahead of the 32 truck.
So you guys need to be on pit view. Let's see if the 6 is going to have to save any. Does he have enough? He's not really passing these lap trucks as you would expect. Of course, they're on a little bit fresher tires. Down to 19 seconds. But we're going to come get the 10 to go.
Isn't any clutch and coast so far out of that 6, but he's also got a couple of trucks in front of him he's probably sniffing a little draft off of.
Rice is going to have to run 10 perfect qualifying laps here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. 6 definitely is clutch and coasting.
Oh, boy. 6 is not going to be good on fuel. He's having to save.
Well, we saw this is how he made it 50 laps that last time was by doing this for a good chunk of the stint. So, I mean, it could very well be part of his strategy. Like, he knows he has to clutch and coast here a little bit, but he also knows that by doing it, he's able to run 50 laps on a tank.
And this would really extend his lead in this playoffs. Because there is a lot of jumbled up order right now.
His nearest competitor that is here tonight is down in 15th, 25 laps down.
I think other than him, Marcus Cunningham, P3. And then after that, it's...
Here comes the 32 to unlap himself here.
Man, if the 6 runs out of gas, we might go berserk in the booth.
Gap down 15.9. I'm showing the gap now back to the 96.
See what he can do.
I don't know, what is he about? The last lap from the 96, only a 31.3. He's going to need a little bit more speed out of it than that to catch him, because we're on lap 144 right now. And he's still about 15 and a half seconds back.
32-0 that last
Oh
lap.
my goodness, they are 3 wide, in a 5-car group in front of the 6.
Yeah, that's just a recorder making it work.
Six laps to go from Las Vegas. Does Whitley have enough?
That is actually 4th, 5th, and 6th are all running right there together just in front of our leader in the 6th.
Rob Squires has rebounded some. He's up to 4th. I mean,
Yeah, 3rd through 6th. There's 4 trucks under a blanket there that are all for position.
5 laps to go for Whitley. He doesn't run out of gas. Looks like he's got it in the bag.
Yeah, I think so as well, because Rice really not making as much of a gain.
Yeah,
And
tires
Mark Whitley
are-
that last lap. Mark Whitley that last lap at 31.9.
I think he's seeing a good number on his screen for fuel for how much he's got left. And yeah, he's not clutching coasting anymore. They are 3 wide in front of him, and that's got to be making his heart race.
You know, we saw the race at Texas get a late race caution. That changed everything. Potentially took the win away from McWhorter and handed it to Whitley. Three laps to go. As the sun creeps out for a little bit. Starts to set, but we got 3 laps to go. Whitley in the lead, Shoemaker 2nd, McWhorter 3rd, Squires 4th, and Jordan Kreider 5th. And Nathan Brookover also having a career day as well.
Yeah, another guy, I believe, on the same strategy as the 96, or close to the same strategy.
Yeah, as we get down to it here, by the way, the 34 and the 27 have been 45, actually call it 46 laps since they last pitted. Whitley's only 45 since he last pitted, so the 34 and the 27 may be really close here on fuel.
Here he comes down the backstretch. Next time around, he's going to get the white flag. Here he comes out of 3 and 4. He's going to see the white flag wave, sponsored by Bailey Auto Parts. This race is official. Does he have enough?
A little bit of a clutch and coast there into 1 and 2.
Down the
Yeah, I
back
think
stretch for the
I
final time.
think he can coast it from here.
Yeah, he's pretty good here with the amount of lead he has.
Yeah, he's still got a 12-second lead. He could shut it off here, and he's got it.
Through 3 and 4. Mark Whitley's going to put a statement already on the playoffs. He picks up the win at Las Vegas. But how about Bryce Shoemaker? He's going to come out of 3 and 4 and get his career best finish. Bryce Shoemaker brings it home. P2. Mick Waters going to rebound after his pit stop and bring it home in the podium. And also, Rob Squires, a career day, 4th place. Jordan Kreider, 5th.
Definitely could have been P3 for that 33 truck. Lap and a half to spare on the 6 truck.
There you have it.
Oh, I think the 27 might have run out on the last lap. I think he's trying to get to the line. I don't know. I can't tell if he's made it to the checkered or not.
Here he is, once again in victory lane for that 6 truck, guys.
Yeah, and a new way to win it this time.
Very much so. Didn't dominate tonight, but had the dominant strategy.
I think the 69 also ran out, or I don't know. I think he's run out of gas, I think.
Now he was celebrating not finishing a lap down.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Wow. What a race tonight at Las Vegas. We'll get some of these guys in here for their interviews.
Yeah, he definitely had a lap and a half because this burnout
He
is still
is.
going on.
I think he's just going to burn it down. He's still got fuel in the thing. And there he goes. Alright, well, bring some of these guys in here, and we'll get their opinions on what was a very strategic race. Let's go ahead and get Joseph McWhorter in here. Josh, you take it away with the first questions once he gets in here. So, here we go. Your P3 finisher, Joseph McWhorter.
Joseph, is Josh in the booth? You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you had to make an extra stop there. How close were you to making it without having to do that extra stop?
Short about a lap and a half. Somehow I was losing. I went from being a lap and a half to 2 laps good to after saving it behind Lawrence to then losing it. So I don't know. Somehow I was losing fuel while running half throttle behind Mark, which makes no damn sense. So just I don't know.
Well, P3 tonight, Joseph. Obviously, you always want more, but even after that pit stop, you got to be happy, though, right? To bring it back to the podium spot.
Yeah, I guess, but at the end of the day, third's just not good enough to try and even get close to the championship. So, I mean, Mark's already got a 30-point lead going into the night, and it's probably going to be another, I don't know, he won the stage and I finished 4th. So, I don't know, probably another 10 points over me on that one, so I don't know. Just can't get any luck going on my side, it seems, so just figure something out.
So next week, though, we head to Martinsville. You're usually pretty good there. How do you feel about heading there?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not going to be a stupid fuel strategy race, because I never have any good luck with these, so looking forward to next week. It's going to be fun. A lot of cautions, I have a feeling, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to be about who can nail restarts and stuff like that, so who can be aggressive at the right times. So I'm just going to go in next week just hard-headed and if I gotta rough somebody up, I'm gonna rough somebody up. I'm just gonna go into that race and be prepared to play.
Sure. Bobby, do you have any questions for Joseph?
I just kind of missed right at the beginning. Did you initially, after the stop right around lap 100, did you think you were going to be good to go, just like Mark on that, or did you kind of know pretty early that that you were going to have a little bit of a gap, that you were going to have a hard time saving enough to make the difference?
No, I knew it was gonna be close. Like I said, I was able to save a little bit behind Lawrence, sitting there running half throttle, and I got it to where I was 2 up, and then when Lawrence pitted, I got in behind Mark and was running, you know, about 3/4 half throttle, kind of just oscillating back and forth. That way I could stay close to him, and somehow I went from 2 to good and all the way down to, being a lap and a half short. So I just didn't have a choice but to pit. So it's just, I don't know, not much I really could have done other than not screwed myself at the start of the race and let all those laps. I should have just sandbagged like Mark did, and that way I could have tried to win the stage at least, and then sandbag again. But I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
Hey, Joseph. Well, P3 tonight, man. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Jeffrey Motorsports. I want to thank Brantley over at Harpoon Designs for this awesome playout scheme. Looks really good. Hopefully, it'll look good on the broadcast for you guys. I want to thank Reaper Speed Labs. All their setup work that they do, and want to thank Red Camel Racing for the real life gear, all my safety equipment that I use, and my real life races. That's why I wasn't here at Talladega. I was racing, so. Want to thank everybody. I want to thank you guys for good broadcast as always, and I guess we'll just go after it next week.
Hey, Joseph. We'll see you at Martinsville.
Like,
Alrighty, obviously disappointed. Joseph, he either wants the trophy or he doesn't want anything at all.
Yeah, he knows it's not gonna be easy to beat that 6 truck.
Not at all, but let's turn the page and let's go to Bryce Shoemaker with a career best finish again this season, and also leading the most laps in this race. Let's bring him in. Here he is, Bryce Shoemaker.
Bryce, Josh in the booth, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, P2 tonight, and I believe most laps led. How did your truck feel out there tonight?
As the temps went down, the lights started coming on, the truck was just glued to the bottom. I don't think I've ever driven such a great truck in my life. It was just on rails.
You did lead the most laps tonight, man. We thought you might close in there on that last pit stop. Did you think you could there? Or you were just eating up the time there, but eventually it kind of evened out.
No, Mark said over the radio that he had enough, and I knew it was over from there. I was just completely off on pit strategy. I didn't think we had to pit in stage 1, and I was wrong on that too. So just not saving fuel, not paying attention. That's what bit me tonight.
Sure. Bobby, you have any questions for Bryce?
How much of the how much of the red mist was in your eyes there after that last pit stop? Because we saw some lap times that were absolutely insane after you made that last pit stop. That's why we were thinking you might actually be able to get there, and then we kind of did the math and it was like, it's not going to be enough. But holy crap, he's running 30.8.
Yeah, I was just full throttle doing everything I could. Lap traffic was sort of an issue in that. They kind of got in the way and it killed some lap times. I really felt like I could have been running 37s to 6s, but they just got a side drafted, blocked, just killed it there.
All right, Bryce. Well, next week we go from this 1.5 mile track, the short track at Martinsville. We know the league's history at short tracks. How do you feel about heading there?
I'm honestly not sure. I think since I joined with Rob, my short track program has come along great ways, but Martinsville is probably my worst short track out of them, so we'll see how I do there. I'm going to probably put extra practice in next week and see how we do. Just don't want to get in the playoff guys' way.
All right, Bryce. Well, career best finish, most laps led. Anyone you want to thank tonight?
Just thank the family for watching. I know Jordan from Custom Paints was watching this, and Boss at Work is watching. Thank Jordan from Custom Paints again, too. He's making our Season 6 paints as we speak. He's been incredible. He jumps in practice sessions with us, helps us out with that, too. So he's just great all around, and Gotta thank him. And gotta thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast. I'm definitely gonna be watching this one.
Sarah would as well. Great performance tonight, man. Always improving. We'll see you at Martinsville.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
There we have it, boys. A career best finish for Bryce Shoemaker.
I had a rocket ship tonight and almost got that first career win, but yeah, Mark Whitley did just enough to save enough fuel.
And now we turn the page again. Mark Whitley, this guy just keeps winning and winning, right? He's shooting up the most wins in this league's history. That's going to be his 7th win, which ties him for 4th with Brian Underwood already. So let's get him in here. Here is Mark Whitley. Take it away, Josh.
Mark, is Josh in the booth? You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, Skylar just said on the broadcast, your 7th win. How did you make the fuel strategy work so well for you?
Well, I mean, if I'm being superstitious, I'll put it down to the qualifying lap I put with triple sevens there at the end of the number. So it was a good omen, I think. It was just the beginning of the run. I knew it was going to be really close on gas, and I just decided, I led a lap, and I'm like, I'd rather try to push it, maybe make it to the stage, and maybe sneak a stage win. And I also figured, saving gas that hard, I would be away from I'd be pretty much running by myself or, not in a pack. So I figured the chances of getting in a wreck or something was a lot lower. So I just decided to go for it in the first run and had, I think, half a lap to the good. And I was like, all right, well, cool. We made it. And everybody else had to pit. So after that, we went green. I think it was 95 laps to go. And I was like, well, people, they couldn't make it. I think they were going 45, 46-ish. So I'm like, they might not be able to make it. So I just said, well, let's just stick with the same strategy and kind of go save mode. I didn't have to save nearly as much. I went ultra save that first run to make sure I got to 50. And second run there, I mean, I was definitely saving at the beginning of the run, but then I started kind of picking it up a little bit toward the end of the run, still saving a little bit. But I feel like the tires were just so much better because I was just not pushing it. So I was able to pass people pretty easy and still save a good amount. And then I went probably about 8 laps before I pitted under the green flag for the last time. I noticed that I was going to be really close to being able to go another 1 extra lap because it was somewhere around I think it was like 7.8 laps to go when I was around the start finish line. So I figured if I saved another couple tenths of a gallon, I could go an extra lap and that might come in handy. And went ultra save mode there for a few laps and got that extra half a lap I needed. Came down pit road with, I don't know, half a lap to spare on that last green flag stop. And after that, I knew I was probably going to be good. I didn't have to save. I knew I was going to have to save a little bit. Just I couldn't run flat out, especially by myself. So I ran it a little hard there to catch back up to a few people that had pitted a little bit before me. And I got caught up with Joseph. And I kind of wanted to stay behind him a little bit, but then I was so much faster than him because he pitted 2 laps before me, so I had 2 laps to the good on him. And I don't know, got around him, and I was still kind of going really easy, and I figured everybody else was going to have to pit at least one more time, so I figured it was going to be between me and him, and maybe, I'm mind blanking, Jordan, not Jordan, I don't know, the 88. I forget who it was. I was more focused on math earlier than people. And then Joe was sitting there talking about how he was trying to save behind me, and all of a sudden he just started cussing. I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I'm losing laps somehow even behind you. I'm like, well, I was kind of, to be honest, I was pushing a little bit harder when I got in front of him, trying to get him to use his stuff up a little bit more because I figured he was going to be 2 laps shorter than me. So I kind of pushed it a little bit harder than I probably needed to just to see if I could maybe make him have to pit. And it kind of worked out. And then after that, it was just about, running consistent lap times. I know Bryce, he pitted, but he was pretty much just shy of a lap down, and I figured he had 18 laps to get 30 seconds back, so I figured unless something catastrophe happened, he was never going to get to me. So I know once Joe pitted, there was a few laps there I went ultra conservative save just to give myself a little bit of a cushion. And then after that, it was just about, I was doing the math in my head, and I figured if I ran a 32.5 every lap, that there was no way he'd have enough time to catch me. And I tried to run about 32.5 every lap, just tit for tat, just every single lap, 32.5, 32.5. That was a good pace I could run to keep the speed up, and at most they were gaining 1.5 seconds a lap. And at that point in the race, he'd have been still really short, even if he was running qualifying laps. So I just hitting my marks, and there toward the end it got a little hairy in front of me. I know I was getting real worried they were going to all wad it up in front of me there, and there was going to be a caution, but thankfully they all got it together. No caution came out. I was able to come back around and still had enough gas to do a burnout. So that's always great when you can stretch the fuel and win one of these strategy races and then still have enough for the burnout.
Yes, sir. 7th win of the season. Rob Hamp didn't make it tonight, and Brian Underwood had issues, so your points gap grows even bigger. How do you feel about heading to Martinsville now with that?
It's always great to have a big gap, especially going to a short track. I love Martinsville, but that track, it's caution field to say the least. So it's good to have a good gap. Don't want to sit on our laurels. Try to have a good run there. Maybe try to get win number 8 or at least top 5 finish just to keep it going. The points lead should be extended a little bit here, I would think, but no lead's really safe enough. There's always no fast repair, so you get hooked or get in an incident and blow an engine, your race is done. You're going to lose a lot of points. So the rest of the playoffs is probably just going to be about trying to get some stage points. Try to drive. I'm not going to say conservative, like easy, but try to not drive super aggressive and not put myself in bad positions and try to be there at the end. Where I can maybe steal a win like this one, or just get a solid top 5. And I think that's what I need to do to clinch the championship is just good solid finishes.
Yes, sir. Bobby, you have any questions for Mark?
Coming into tonight, obviously you were the first one that we picked up on that was definitely on the fuel strategy, trying to see if you could shave off a pit stop. Was that your strategy coming in? Like, did you kind of come in here already knowing, that's actually really close to being able to make 50 laps, and you just went from it from the beginning? Because you were definitely the first one we noticed tonight doing the fuel saving.
I wish I could say I was a genius, and that was, but honestly, right when we were gridding up, I asked one of my teammates, I'm like, hey, did anybody do a fuel run to find out how much gas? And he said he ran about a half a tank, and it was like 24 and a half laps. 24 and a half. I'm like, well, that would be 48, 49 laps. I'm like, well, maybe I can save it. And then once it started kind of racing a little crazy up there, I decided, worst case is going to happen. I might not get stage points, but I was just kind of trying it on the first run to see if it'd work, and it worked out. So after that, it was just kind of the game plan, and thankfully it went green. I think it was the first race all year we've had where there hadn't been a single incident for single caution for an incident. It was just a stage. So hats off to all the drivers out there. I mean, there was some hard racing out there, but we kept it clean, and that's the only reason the strategy worked out is there weren't no cautions. There had been cautions that had been thrown out the window, and it'd have been pretty much like a Daytona out there the way this truck was. So we just kind of got lucky, and sometimes, especially in Vegas, you got to have some luck on your sides, and 777s on the qualifying lap and 7th win, there was, that's a lot of 7s, and 7's my favorite number and lucky number. So glad to be able to get it here in Vegas.
Sir, well, another win. Anyone you want to thank tonight?
Oh yeah, big shout out Harpoon Designs, putting together this slight different alteration on the truck I've been running all year for the playoffs. Try to go a little bright, colorful. Check them out, harpoondesign.com. He can make you something custom, or he's got a ton of them on Trade and Paint if you want to check out some of his other work. My other sponsor, Shop Angry Duck, they're going to be your one-stop shop for all your custom apparel and racewear. So hats, t-shirts, hoodies, pretty much anything you can think of apparel-wise, they can make something custom for you. No order limits. So check them out at shopangryduck.com. Then a big shout out to my family for always tuning in to these broadcasted races. Like I said before, these truck races here on Saturday night, they run kind of long here on the East Coast, so it's always great. Appreciate them staying up late and watching the races. Always great having a good support group behind you like that. And then one more shout out. Driven Motorsports. I know John got an incident earlier in the race that coulda, shoulda, woulda brought out a caution, but he was running up there in top 5, 10. He was running pretty good. And then Joseph, he's a tough competitor week in and week out, and he's gonna be. I'm kind of lucky to he had to miss a couple races, and I got a good little gap on him there in the points, because if it was heads up racing, it'd be a pretty tough battle for the points lead right now. So appreciate them being teammates and being helpful in strategy and stuff, and can't wait to get Martinsville next week, and hopefully we can get another win, or hopefully avoid getting in a wreck. That's going to be the main goal, is just to avoid getting in a wreck next week.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see you next week at Martinsville.
All right, sounds good, guys.
Alrighty, well, Mark Whitley always describes what happens to a T, and walks away with another win.
And yeah, like I said earlier, different way to win, but it still counts as a win.
Yes, Yes, sir. You got that right. Well, we see that Jordan Kreider hoping to get an interview here. He's coming off his best finish of his career. So let's get him up in there.
Jordan, it's Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
You bring it home P5 tonight. How did that strategy work out for you?
Well, I think if I would have actually qualified and got up to like top 10, top 8, I would have got a podium because I started 17th. So I think the strategy worked fine. I should have qualified.
Yeah, man, you bring it home your career best finish in your first top 5 ever. Some good momentum for the rest of the playoffs. You go to Martinsville next week. How do you feel about that?
I like Bristol. I've never raced Martinsville, so short tracks aren't my best, but I give it a shot.
Yes, sir. Well, you put up a good performance tonight. You gained 12 spots, finished P5, podium possible. You're getting better every week.
I appreciate that. I'm trying my best.
Yes, sir.
This
Bobby?
is still like a rookie season for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're showing it as well, and your performances, you're getting better and better. Bobby, you have any questions for Jordan?
I do not have anything, unfortunately. Sorry.
Alrighty, Jordan. Well, anyone you want to thank tonight, man?
You guys started. You guys do an awesome job.
We appreciate that, man. And, Josh, we'll see him next week, right?
If he's able to race, yeah.
Alrighty, man. Anyone you want to thank again?
That's about it.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll see you next week at Martinsville. See if you can put together another top 5.
Thank you, guys.
Sure. It's Jordan Kreider coming off a career best finish. A lot of guys getting that here in the season.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get a little bit of fuel strategy involved. Really shake some stuff up, and yeah, there's some guys that hit on some different strategies, and it really paid off for them.
So let's pull up the finishing results here before we head out from Las Vegas. There you have it. Whitley picking up another win. Bryce Shoemaker second. Joseph McWhorter rounds out the podium. Third place once again for Joseph. Rob Squires, E4 career best finish for him. Jordan Kreider, career best finish. So lots of guys improving every week.
Yeah, got to give a big shout out there to Rob with that P4. He probably would have been ahead of Joseph if he hadn't had the contact on pit road there on that last pit stop.
Sure, that's what I was just thinking about. What if Rob, but good thing to build on. Some of these guys are getting used to the truck, and then we just flip it on that head for season 6 when we switch to Xfinity.
Yeah, and that's going to really shake up some stuff because it's going to be a polar opposite of what this truck is here.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll go one by one. Josh, any closing thoughts before we get out of here from Sin City?
Fuel strategy, I don't think any of us expected that. I thought a lot of us expected it to just be kind of like pack racing, like we're expecting tomorrow in the Cup Series race. So it was really nice to see some extra fuel strategy that really shook some stuff up.
Sure. And how about you, Bobby?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I was expecting a little bit more of like what you typically see in some of the official races here with the trucks. Definitely was expecting a lot more bunched up kind of pack style racing, but I think Mark kind of broke it once he kind of established the fuel strategy there of being able to run long. And then as soon as he started doing that, I think you started seeing other guys jump in and say, "Oh, hey, that's a good idea. Oh, I see that now." And they decided to change out their game plan partway through because they saw what Mark was doing, and that kind of changed the whole complexion of the race, I think.
Sir. Well, we'll see what these guys can do next week. We expect a lot of caution, so probably be a late night. This night, pretty early. It's only about, what was it? Over 2 hours. Just now hitting the 2-hour mark on the stream, so pretty quick night, but next week we'll probably be in for a long one, so make sure you have coffee next week. We'll see you next week live from Martinsville once again on the WOSCRL Network.